Guys, good afternoon. It's June the 20th, 2025. Gary Cardone here. I have my best deep Cardone voice on. Getting hoarse here. Jen's laughing. I've got, let me pull up Jen right here. I didn't know we were both featured here. But look, guys, welcome. I've got Jennifer Cutrula here. She is the CEO, president of N40 Digital Asset Alliance, and it's basically www.n40digital.com. She changed it to make it easy for Gary. Thank you for that, Jen. Hey, listen, we've got a couple of things coming up. We've got an event in September and an event in October. Some of you guys will know I have spent probably last year when I first met Jennifer. I met Jennifer a couple of years ago. She was working for doing a lot of work inside of family offices and building businesses. And she was the perfect person to me to be able to like help me in everything I'm doing in the Bitcoin industry and tying it all the way back to energy and real estate and family offices. Because we both really saw that the families and the Bitcoin community were kind of talking at each other. And so we've pulled this event together, and I hate big conventions. So we pulled this event together to curate probably the best people in the world inside the Bitcoin industry from every part of the value chain, from mining all the way to the financial side of it, paper, derivatives, hedge funds, custody, borrowing Bitcoin, lending Bitcoin. Now we're bringing in the energy guys, miners, real estate players like my brother, who's going to be speaking at one of our shows in October, and even the Bitcoin strategic corporate strategies, where people both public and private. So our focus in September, and I'm going to let Jen give us. Well, Jen, what is our focus? I won't give everybody what is our focus in September? I think that's September the 22nd, right?
Absolutely, the 22nd to 24th. And for anyone who either attended in February or watched the streaming, we're going to take that to a next level. So what I've heard repeatedly is that people really, really loved the intimacy of the event, being able to network with 100 or so people on site, and then certainly through the chat from the streaming. But we have top thought leaders in the space, family offices who are investing. I'm on one conversation after the next over the companies who are learning how to maximize the value of having Bitcoin on their balance sheet, the tax implications of trading and investing. So really from start to finish, the emerging technologies, what to watch for, what's working well, what's posing challenges for people. And so over the last several days, really since we announced the event, it's been great to see the responses from people who are so excited to see the next one scheduled, and really just felt that, the big shows are interesting and they offer their own benefits and opportunities. But I've just heard repeatedly that being able to spend the 3 days with the opening social time and then the 2 days of content and additional social at your home, thank you. People are just incredibly excited to come back. So looking forward to kicking it off.
Yeah, what I like about these events, and I've done now, I think 5 or 6 of these, so no one's having to go through a laboratory, be the rat in the laboratory. Look, I love the Bitcoin Vegas event. It was really good to see 1,000 different people, but my best experience was sitting down at 3:00 in the morning gambling with the CEO of a company where he and I could just be quiet and have a good time and not be bothered. And then, spend a really cool, quiet time getting to know somebody at a human level. That's what we're doing here. And I have yet to hear one person that didn't want to come back from the last event. So we've got this ginned in pretty well. What are we limiting because we're doing the structure here is there's a party event for all the speakers and VIPs on the 22nd. And then what happens Monday? Is that Monday or Tuesday?
That is Monday.
Okay, that's Monday. So what happens on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday? Can you kind of lay out the plan?
Sure. And I want to add to what you were saying a second ago. In the meetings that I've been having and conversations about the event, and I appreciate and thank you that you are so respected as at an institutional level as people are trying to find their footing and the connection with private capital and with the evolution of the RIA relationships and everything as everybody tries to bring traditional world and all of this together, and pursue their next steps. So we'll have, I expect, a larger number of institutional relationships at this event because there's so much pressure. Everybody's watching for the dam to break and the path to clear, and jockeying for how everyone will succeed. So I think that's a key part of the benefit too of this event. Monday night, Monday during the day, for those who want to golf or fish or do some other things, we'll actually have that opportunity for connection and conversation time. And then Monday evening, we'll have a redo of the barbecue welcome that we had last time, which was so fun, and people really enjoyed that. As everyone travels in or comes in on site. And then Tuesday morning, 8 a.m., we kick off breakfast and everybody arriving. 9 a.m. the sessions start, and through the day we have a series of fireside chats, panels, and again we'll be announcing. We shot up the first few speakers on the site, and we'll be adding more. But the days, as you know, when we're jammed, and they will be again with the thought leadership and demos and conversations. Tuesday evening is the bash or the party that was so fun for everyone, and that we'll be announcing the theme for that event so people can jump in. And that was really an opportunity for people to they stayed at your house for quite a long time and engaged, and but an incredible social opportunity. People used it frankly for some of their media and content while they were there, so it was a great multi-purpose day. And then Wednesday, similar, we jumped back in. We really focused for the first of the 2 days on family office and finance and how this becomes a part of your portfolio to the extent that it isn't, or you're curious. And then for those who are heavily invested, how the landscape is changing and how to continue to be successful at this and evolve. And then that second day, we really got into more of the tech and innovation and what's happening in the space, and how certainly now the real estate conversation's evolving, healthcare. So by industry, we chatted about that as well, what the impact on sports. So a number of different areas we deep dive to that second day. And back in the evening, when you thought everybody might decide to head out and head home, people were changing and moving flights so that they could stay and really take that 2 days. And so we did a reception that last night. People had their conversations and took their group photos. And I think ultimately we started to remind them that it's your house, that we needed to.
You had to push them out. Yeah. No, and listen, I think, for people that are watching this that are in the industry, if you're a miner, a Bitcoin miner, micro or macro, I'm trying to get the CEO of Iron here. If you want to attend and, reach out to Jen. If you're a Bitcoin corporate strategy, whether it's a similar, we'd love to have Joe Burnett show up, or even the CEO, David Bailey of the Naka Group, any of you guys that are doing these Bitcoin strategies that see this. For me, the family offices are asking for two things right now: a better understanding of crypto, but also, hey, what's the role with real estate? And then what are these new Bitcoin corporate strats? Really fascinated with that. So this is a really cool opportunity. If you are running one of those, reach out to us. We may not be able to reach out to everyone to be able to present. The kind of presenters that we are looking for that were here last year were the guy that handles all the billionaires for Coinbase, CEO of Abra.
We had ARC with us. We had ARC representation. Yeah.
So the whole value chain shows up. Lawyers for you family offices that don't have access to good lawyers that are in the digital space. This is a very different space. It'd be good. We bring in the lawyers, the accounting, and the tax advisors, so you can see the whole value chain and who the experts are. Whether you use them or not is not really what we're trying to push. What we're trying to show you is how wide and deep this industry is, and it's normally not advertised. Jen, let's move to Connecticut. Unless you want to talk any more about September, there's sponsorship opportunities, guys. We will also probably be live streaming that. We'll figure that part out later. I'm gonna put a little twist on this thing. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Jen, Connecticut. Now you got me committed, and I'll hook my brother in for Greenwich, October the 15th, right?
Yes. Yeah. October 15th. So what I'll say about both events, two things have come up really where the conversation about family offices and how to what extent has the family office space actually hopped over and started to invest and really take advantage of the opportunities. And I would say where you're seeing it shift most is where next gens are involved, where kids are taking over the leadership of the family offices or are curious and investing in the space. And it becomes really important for as a family for good stewardship and transition of the family office, but also again as younger members of the family are wanting to get involved. If the parents and adults aren't already there, and then the emerging adults again stepping into leadership, to be able to have that conversation is critical in terms of family office structure, legacy transfer, all of those things make it really essential that everybody's able to speak the same language and incorporate those conversations into investment decisions and again, transferring and future planning. So you're seeing it be critical there. And then I would say, with regard to sponsorships and involvement of corporate relationships, this is where you're really seeing, again, when done in the right way and with really thought leadership involvement and leading that way, which we've been really fortunate. I know you've seen, Gary, where the relationships in play, they are about the relationships. It's not pitchy. We're so reliant now in this space on the people who are seeing this stuff happen every day, the problems people are encountering, the challenges, and the solutions. So having the thought leaders involved, and the goal is to have people involved throughout the year rather than one event. And we're seeing that happen. So that stickiness is nice. And again, building those relationships. As we come to Greenwich, the private capital conversations, and certainly even as it now threads through liquidity conversations that go into real estate and healthcare and manufacturing and really every area that you traditionally think about from a corporate and business standpoint, the number of institutions reaching out to me saying, especially in the financial markets, we now know that we have to play in this space, and we're still really trying to figure out how to even get in front of families and have these conversations. Certainly have the competitive push, but the idea in Greenwich is to be able to, where you have such a real estate dominant environment and you have, the hedge fund capital arguably, as well as certainly a big focus from in New York City and beyond of, I want to say the next or the new Silicon Valley, but digital has taken hold so heavily in the New York and regional market that having this in Greenwich and being able to bring all of that into one room, and it follows not too long after a large institutional event in the same space. So having that in the room and being able to have these conversations, people are looking for, as you know, the conversations about what is happening, then how to optimize for your own situation. And then part of where we get into the evolution of the N40 Digital Asset Academy is the ongoing trading, the certifications, and being able to carry this through to future events. So, as you know, we're having gatherings throughout the summer, throughout the fall, but these two are really incredible learning opportunities. And for those, again, getting into the space or who have been in it and need to know next steps, those who are working in it every day can't even keep up. So it's a great opportunity for people to evolve. And again, you're so respected that thank you for doing it.
Well, it's fun. It's fun getting to know all these people, especially on look, if I'm going to travel this far, I want to actually have some really good relationships with people, have fun. It sounds like a lot, but in fact, they're all really designed to build really strong relationships between all types of different people. For instance, one of the things that we got out of the last event was I had some very old Bitcoiners around, and they walked away realizing, oh, wow, family offices just do not care about self-custody. That was shocking to them, but they had heard it from me for years. And then they started meeting people and they're like, what are you talking about? I've got $1 billion sitting in all kinds of different things. So that was really good, right? Because the Bitcoin only type people kind of softened up a little bit when they saw the reality of, hey, this is a rancher, man. He's a 3rd generation rancher. Okay. You can't just unwind everything and stick it on a wallet. Grant, I think the timing for Grant being there and just the dynamic person that he is, I knew this was going to happen. He is going in so heavy. Okay. This, for you guys watching this, okay, if you really want to see how somebody, once they're convicted, can have a conviction and understand something, the action then really follows. He is going, I would predict he is going to put this on his medical business, every one of his real estate deals. He'll start with the real estate deals that have issues on them, little hair, little problems. And they're going to end, his allocation will end up being from 15, it'll end up being 60, 70%. This is a great story for the families. Yes. A great story for the families to see an independent guy be able to wrap a bunch of real estate. He's been wanting to do this for a decade and then IPO it. And I think he'll do that, but he's going to have to put Bitcoin on the balance sheet. I think it'll be great for families to hear some of his experiences with it, not just what he's doing, but hey, how did he get here? Because the problem of getting here, he could have been here 3 years ago. Why wasn't he here 3 years ago? Wasn't sold well to him. It's the Bitcoin community's fault, not you get Bitcoin when you deserve it. That's a ridiculous statement. You get Bitcoin when you're actually presented the opportunity correctly at the right time. And I think, Grant, it's going to be a good indicator for the families. Because, I mean, it's not like have nothing to lose. I mean, we're both now, smashing in pretty heavy. So if you want to see that kind of action, you guys need to join this. This is a membership thing for a year. You can buy spot tickets. I would not encourage it. We do not guarantee any spot tickets. And we've priced these to make sure that the quality of these shows remains very, very high. It's the only purpose for the way we charge for it. And we do a really classy show. Jen, anything else? Any other whipping cream or cherries you want to put on top?
Well, so I think, again, for the event in St. Pete's, that deep dive for those who are already super technical and considered advanced in the space, the conversations there were extensive and technical, and certainly for those who are getting involved, we solve for that as well. But the tech demos and other things we'll be having are great for founders, funders, families. But that was, I would consider the advanced level for those who want to make sure nothing's dummied down. That was exceptional for that event in Greenwich. We actually will start the day one, even from a real estate perspective, with what's the state of the economy, traditional private wealth. I'll say more broadly, maybe, than we'll touch on in St. Pete's.
I spend a lot of time on just a few little pieces, but Jen really brings in a macro. Like, we've had sports people there, all types of different industries.
And so we'll do that in Greenwich, and I'm so excited to see how that first day progresses, especially as we go from traditional structured finance and as we progress through the day more into how is liquidity flowing still in even in the traditional market, and by the end of the day where we get to the conversation with you and with Grant, and then what is next, what are the opportunities, and how is, to your as you always say about the world being tokenized, actually seeing that in motion, how that's working. And then going into that evening, we have a general reception for attendees, but then there's also a really limited 35-person LP dinner. And that's going to give people who are, really serious about investing in this space and who are really committed the time to come together in a really rare, intimate room to have those conversations. So, exciting.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. It's you've really helped me curate an awesome event. One you can have fun at, and you can get really educated and walk away and have some really cool friends. That's the coolest thing for me, is to see people from my old world hanging out with, I remember seeing one of my lawyers hanging out with somebody from the crypto world, and you would have thought these two people, there were 20 or 30 years between them, and you would have thought they were long lost buddies. It was the most remarkable thing. And I see that over and over. And that's the other thing for the legacy players to see, hey, wow, there's a lot of really good people in this industry. That's a big, I don't know how many people say that to you, but I hear that all the time.
I think if you're in the right room, the conversation yesterday was if you wouldn't, when you get to craft one of these, and it's such a privilege, thank you, to get to do this with you. When you set the bar, if it's not somebody you'd want to keep in your living room, the nice part is to get to decide that, that's not the fit, that doesn't belong. So, and I think we really lucked out in February, and excited to do that again.
Yeah. Well, Jen, thank you. You guys follow Jen. Awesome. Reach out to her at Jennifer at, what is that? N40digital.com. Sorry, I just bared my eyesight so bad. You guys reach out to her if you need anything. If you need anything from me, DM me. Looking forward to it. You guys book your tickets. She's got a bunch of further information, so we'll be posting data frequently now between now and the event. So thank you very much. Jen, any closing comments?
Excited. And Gary, I know we have some upcoming guests that we'll hopefully bring on and share as some previews of the two events and the thought leadership. So, but again, in the meantime, thanks so much. I did post an event link to your X for people who are on there. So a number of different places that they can grab the event link and view more information and again, reach out with questions. So
awesome. People would go to www.n40digital.com, correct?
Yes, correct.
You're awesome, Jen. Thank you very much. Okay. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Okay. Ciao.
Bye-bye.